Here with Concordia head women's basketball coach Drew Olson to preview the 2013-14 season, which is coming up quickly. First off, there were some great moments last season, but I know the team did fall short of some of the lofty expectations that were on the table. How do you think the way last season ended has maybe motivated some of the returning players coming back this year?
I hope that last year gave our kids a taste of what they could be. It wasn't an awful season. We win 25 games. We make it to the national tournament. We were second in the GPAC, which is the toughest conference. So, I thought we did some good things, but yeah, we could have been a little bit better. We could have finished a lot stronger. Finishing 10-7 the last 17 games isn't what what we were capable of. But I do think it motivated our kids. A lot of them stuck around Seward, Kristen Conahan, Tracy Pites, Bailey Morris, Lori Laboda, just to work on their game and become better players.
Now you can't talk about this year's team without first mentioning the guards, and that starts with Kristen Conahan. She's already accomplished a lot in her career. How impressed have you been just with her development since she's been here, and kind of where you expected her to be when you recruited her?
She's an awesome player. I mean, she could go down as one of the best, if not the best. And I think when we recruited her, we thought she's going to be a really good shooter, but we didn't know what she was capable of. Handling the ball, making great decisions, and she's turned herself into just being like a great scorer. She doesn't just shoot the three; she can score in a lot of other different ways. But I'm really excited to see what she's done so far this year. That just her leadership ability, she's very positive. She doesn't have an off day, so that's something really nice to see.
You touched on it a little bit, but where do you think she might rank or go down in the history of this program?
Well, there's so many great players, and they're all a little bit different. I mean, Carrie Saving just got inducted in the Hall of Fame. She's one of the best. Sarah Harrison is a great post player. Whitney Stichka and Kristen Conahan's right there with them. They're all different. They're all unique. They're all great players.
Now, of course, she won't have to do it alone with Bailey Morris also back, and she made a big leap from her freshman to sophomore year. What kind of improvement can we expect from her from sophomore to junior year now?
I think Bailey's just going to continue to be a great spark, big energy person. We're hoping that all of her numbers just kind of gradually go up a little bit in scoring, 3-point percentage, getting to the foul line a little bit more. But I think she's just going to continue to be, a great player and another great guard that we have.
You lose Katie Rich, who was the female athlete of the year here to graduation. What did she mean to the program, and kind of how you're used to replacing very good players here? Kind of how does that work every year?
Well, Katie was just a phenomenal athlete and a fierce competitor, and I think that's what we're going to miss the most. That just her toughness every single game. And defensively, she was obviously the defensive player of the year, and so a great defender that we're going to miss. And she made up for a lot of our mistakes. So, we make a bad pass, she was still able to keep the ball in bounds. And defensively, if we miss an assignment, she'd be right there. So, we're definitely going to miss her. But I think our program does a nice job of filling in those missing pieces. And I see Tracy Pites and Kelsey Heiser just picking up right where Katie left off, and I think one of those two could be Defensive Player of the Year. I think Tracy's really put herself in a position to have a great junior year.
Let's talk a little bit more about Tracy Pites. Bailey Morris was kind of that breakout star last year. Maybe it's Tracy Pites this year. What have you seen from her improvement-wise?
Tracy's like the great example of what work ethic will do for you. She came in and her jump shot was not pretty, but now she's turned herself into a pretty solid shooter, and that goes along with the other parts of her game. Incredible defender, great driver. She can post up, she can get rebounds. She's just a really good all-around player now.
Give me a little bit of a breakdown of the rest of the varsity returners and kind of where some of them fit in to this year.
Mm-hmm. Seniors Brittany Bertel and Lori Laboda will again be in the post. We're hoping to get Lori more healthy. She's battling right now with her knee, but I think she's still going to try to fight for some minutes. Brittany Bertel's going to be a great player. She's a perfect role player for what we're looking for. Kelsey Heiser, like we talked about, really good defender. Hopefully her 3-point shooting will come along. Taylor Wissing's another one that I expect to step up and have a much better year this year. She didn't play a whole lot as a freshman, and this year we're expecting her to take a little bit bigger role and kind of be our spot shooter. So.
Well, there's really no questioning the guards that this team has, but some people might have some questions about the front court. How have those questions been answered so far in practice and throughout the off season?
Well, I think our post players are good. I mean, I think they're gonna be great with the roles that we're asking them to defend and rebound, knock down shots from the perimeter, and finish inside. And I think they're gonna be fine. We're gonna get more post production with some of our guards as well, and I think there's no question about our post players.
Now you have 10 players returning from last year that have at least a little bit of varsity experience, so it means that the newcomers are probably going to have to be pretty advanced to see much time. Who are some of those new players that have impressed you?
The one that's really stood out so far has been Becky Mueller from Omaha Concordia. Just her strength, her toughness, very similar to Tracy, where she can score in different ways with 3-point shooting, drives, post-ups. And she's going to be a really good player for us right away. I think Elena Daberco's got an opportunity too. Just freak athlete. If she can catch on with the speed of the game, coming from a little bit smaller town, Madison, if she can pick up on the speed of the game, she's going to be really, really good down the line. And then our guards, Devin Edwards and Shelby Quinn. Devin from Lincoln Northeast and Shelby from Bellevue East, they both have an opportunity. So.
And in your 7 years, you've gone to the national tournament 5 times, and expectations are always high. I imagine this year is no different, especially with being picked in a tie for first in the preseason GPAC poll.
Yeah, the bar's set high, and that's what our program's about. We're wanting to be just as successful on the court as we are in the classroom, and we expect to go to the national tournament. We know it's not going to be easy, especially our non-conference schedule. We play, I think, 7 out of our first 8 are national tournament teams from last year. So the road's not going to be easy, and we know that the GPAC is tougher than ever. We really feel like those bottom teams are getting much better. So it's going to be tough. They picked us first, but that doesn't really mean anything to us. We need to make sure we go out and prove it.
Now it seems like all the top teams, kind of the perennial powers in the GPAC, all lose a significant player or more. What does that mean to the conference this season, and kind of how does Concordia fit in there?
Well, the one thing that I've learned so far in the GPAC is, those teams might have lost a player, but they never miss a beat. I mean, every year I feel like Northwestern loses their best player, and gosh, they can't be as good as they were last year, right? Well, they always have somebody step up, and Northwestern's going to be just as good as they always are, and same with Morningside, losing all of their guards. I know they're going to replace them, and Morningside's going to be really good. Briarcliff loses quite a bit, but I don't expect any of them to really drop off at all. I just know that they're all going to be really good, and then, like I said, the middle bottom teams are all getting much better, like Hastings and Dort and Midland. So